Hi, good morning. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's session on Get Noticed with 5 listing tips. I hope everyone is healthy. My name is Kuga, your trainer today. There's a chat box where you can prompt any questions or comments if you may have. I'll be answering your questions in between the training. Okay, so let's begin. Our agenda today is to write a great or catchy headlines, have a good description, making sure that you have a beautiful photo and videos, and keep your listing updated and evaluate your listing performance inside. So first agenda is to write a great catchy headlines. Tips on what makes good headlines, right? The language you choose naturally impacts the clickworthiness of your headline. When using words that are bland, uninspiring, or unknown by most, your potential readers are going to be turned off. With language that's simple but powerful. Every headline you write should target a specific keywords. With significant search volume, this is not only ensures that your headline is optimized to drive the targeted traffic, but organic or paid search, but it proves that people are actively looking for the information on the related topic. So hint on something interesting as well. If you insist on using an exclamation mark, you are forbidden from using more than one. There's nothing so exciting to necessitate drawing attention to a property, multiple exclamation marks. And you can actually create fear of missing out, or you can even say like things like, hurry, what are you waiting for, or under market value. So create the fear or urgency. These are some of the examples that I would personally recommend. For example, for simple and powerful, you can say 3 minutes walking distance to this particular MRT, or suitable for students, interesting content, imagine coming to home, this is gorgeous with 1 bedroom in this particular area, or create urgencies such as make no mistake, call now, last 3 units left, or anything along the line. Okay, so the key is to make sure that you showcase your selling or the renting point of the unit with a simple, powerful language or keywords, or make sure it's interesting. Okay, so you can target a keyword. You can target a keyword with high search volume by using these 3 simple tools. So you can either use KW Finder, or Key Search, or Google Keyword Planner. Google Keyword Planner is free. The other two you can utilize on the trial, but in the end of the trial, it's a subscription base. Quick question. So who do you think did better? Is it agent A or agent B? You can use the comment box to answer. Yeah, that is right. So agent A. Why did agent A do better? So basically it's just simple and powerful and unique selling point. It's just that, right? So make sure that all your headlines are just straight to the point, simple, and give the best selling or renting point of the particular unit. How agent B can improve is basically put some content in it. All right, there's no content, it's not interesting, it's not really great at all. So make sure that the contents are important. So next thing, how to write a description that sells. So before I move on to this slide, I just want to explain to you, people are scanning for a listing before they find interesting and continue reading. So the good rule of thumb is to write a description that is between 80 to 150 or even below 100, right? So break up your text into a smaller paragraph and make it easier for property seekers. For this example, you can use some good example, like a storytelling alongside with photos and things like that. So what I'm trying to say is, in the event if you're buying something, a particular things in Shopee or Lazada, when you look at the pictures, when you look at the pricing, next thing you do is read up, right, about the particular description, how to use it, or what is it made from, how to wash the particular material or anything like that. So this shows that how important descriptions are. So make sure you do a good description for your listing as well. But when I say draw a good description, not necessarily you have to write a long, beautiful essay. Nobody reads essay, right? So make sure it's in bullet points. So break up to these 4, I would say 4 factors, which is the unit condition. Speak whether it's a furnish or the view of direction, the fittings, the condition, whether it's moving or it's only ready in 2021. speak about the facilities available, for example, swimming pool, gym, number of car park, and etc. Amenities such as amenities such as hospitals, schools, shopping mall, and lastly is transportation. So when transportation including the roads, highways, bus stop, MRT, and so on. Amenities and transportation, what we highly recommend is to put a matrix to it. For example, 3 kilometers to this particular school or 5 minutes drive away to a particular mall. So the moment you put in a particular, I would say a matrix, right? When a property seeker is reading your description, they have an imagination towards it. This is one of the good example. Sorry. So you can start off with a beautiful corner terrace unit for sale, very good marble flooring. You have a newly refurbished swimming pool, 700 meters to this MRT, 5 bus stop away, and then you have the school, plaza, central, and so on. So the details of the property. So keep it very, very simple, bullet pointed straight to the point. Quiz time. Who do you think did better? Is it agent A or agent B? Yep, definitely. In a glance, you can say it's agent B. So how can agent A improve his description? It's too long, clustered. To be honest, overall good information, but not organized into sections. So this particular agent actually make an effort to put a lot of information in it. The only problem is like clustered and like a sardine, right? So it is kind of like people kind of miss the information. Nobody's going to sit there and read word by word. And why did agent B did better or do better? Basically, it's good format, bullet form, amenities are mentioned, facilities, and transportation. So this is a very, very good way to portray your description. So moving forward, for your next listing or so on, if you haven't done this, I would really highly recommend for you to follow this route. So as in summary, make sure you put in bullet points, list the area of amenities, branded appliance if they have. Don't use all capital letters or avoid indicating race or religion. Avoid symbols as well. Next agenda, our third agenda is tips to make your photo listing shine. So agents can influence photo and description. Excellent photos such as price, location, and unit configuration is beyond their control. In this digital era, property seekers want to be equipped as much as information and materials before they taking to the next step with you. By showcasing the property in a professional manner, you establish yourself as a property agent and aim to serve them and extremely important and genuine to property seekers. 90% of the information transmitted to the human brain is visual, and with our brain processing images 60,000 times faster than text, approximately 2 in 5 people responded positively when visuals are included. Therefore, having quality image of your resale or your rental or any kind of unit clearly holds the key in attracting the right buyer to your property listing and impressing the tenant of the bank. Right? So long story short, make sure you have a great photo. So what makes an outstanding photo? Schedule a right time. Natural lighting is from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. right? And then you need to use landscape mode because social media channel prefers a square or or a portrait image, but that's not the case for real estate photography. Your home is simply too wide to fit into a portrait, so use horizontal landscape instead of vertical portrait. And then the idea is to capture your property frame in a camera in a way visually interesting. The human eye see the world in two common aspects, right? In the standard ratio 4:3 and then 16:9. Hence, our brain tends to find horizontal landscape displaying much more pleasing. Home with less furnitures show up better in photos or even during open house viewing. So rearrange your bedrooms, closet, and storage cabinets. Dispose all unwanted furniture. Basically, you need to keep it clean. So I don't expect you to go to someone's house and do a cleaning, but maybe you can just tell them out, hey sir, you know what, I'm coming. So make sure, you kind of clean up or try to hide whatever is not necessary. And taking a photo above, it's a great way to show a large property or crop the photo close enough to see home is visible without having drawn a narrow box around it. So you can have a bird's eye view. These are some of the photos, like the good and the bad. So on your left, you can see it's a natural lighting, definitely much more nicer, cleaner, clearer. On your right is a yellow lighting. So when you go, if you're taking pictures at night, potentially it will look like this. And then landscape against portrait. Obviously on your left, you can see landscape covers much more of the home instead of the portrait mode. Sorry. And less is more. So less furniture is good. If there's furniture, that's fine, but make sure that it's clean. It's not stacked up, with dirty piling clothes on the table or anything like that. And bird's eye view. This is some of the example of bird's eye view. You can use a selfie stick. So especially apartments and things, now they have a lot of tools for your phone. So you can just look at Lazada and Shopee to see what are the tools that you can use. These are also some tips. Draw your curtains, right? Draw your curtains. Property seeker can see what's happening beyond the balcony or beyond the curtains. They have an idea. But sometimes when you draw your curtain, it's too bright as well. So you may need to adjust the first layer of curtains or blind down a little so we can get a clearer picture of what's happening the other side. And then, like I said earlier, I mentioned this earlier, tidy room and neat room definitely drive more leads than a bit messy houses. And then we tend to actually tilt our phone when we're snapping pictures slightly higher or a taller building and things. So instead of that, move your arm up and down so that the picture looks well aligned and oriented. It's not a massive wrong or problem. Just some tips for you to consider in future. And then you have use from different perspective, right? So you can showcase a lot of pictures, you can upload a lot of pictures. So please use multiple angles of the same space. Property seekers are looking as many details as possible. So make it easy for them to understand your property. Adjust the lighting in each room so the property is in the best light. Don't use photos that have people present inside without their permission. So if you're going to snap picture in a communal area, I highly suggest that you ask permission or just say, hey sir, miss, can you move a while? But expect them to come up from the swimming pool, right? So maybe you can actually pixel them out or gray them out so they don't appear in your picture and don't cause any problem. Quiz time. Why do you think this photo is bad? Any idea? Yeah, so you can see the photographer in it. It's a bit dim, correct? And you feel it's messy. Yeah, let's look at the answer. So correct, the photographer is in the photo. Did not clean up the bathroom and it's a bad lighting. It's a beautiful bathroom, honestly, it's big, spacious. But the only problem is they didn't make an effort to it. So it will be nice if they clean up, make it nicer. It definitely looks better than a cleaner photo, right? And then the second picture, why is this photo bad? Any idea? That's correct, obstruction. So you can see the tree and the truck as blocking the whole view. So you can't see the entrance of the home. So potentially if you can move the, so tree is something you cannot escape from, right? But try different angle. This picture is basically blocking the whole view. Unless someone really loves this kind of house, this view, this tree and things, then that's a good point. But otherwise, I feel honestly it's like blocking the beauty of the house. The second last agenda is to drive more views. So you have good description, you have good headline, good photo, and you want to make sure that you drive more views. For example, I'm going to give you a layman term, like I put on makeup, I make sure that I can speak well, I look proper. But if I go and hide myself in a toilet or in a place in a corner that nobody sees me, how am I going to drive interest, right? How are people going to even notice me? So in order to do that, you have to make sure you are in the front of people. People are noticing you, people looking you, people know that you are there. So same with your listing, you can boost your listing. So boost is easy way to improve your listing performance at any time with the triple benefits giving you competitive advantage among your peers. Increase the exposure of your listing, improve your chance of getting inquiries, So your listing be ranked above regular listing in all relevant searches, which increases your chances of being seen in property seekers in turn of bring more inquiries. So your listing detail page will be ads free. This will allow property seekers to give full attention to your listing. Book through AgentNet web or mobile, or you can boost your listing that has achieved 85 quality score. Each boost listing lasts for 7 days. So your boost listing comes first, then your regular listing, as you can see on your left image. Okay, let me put a laser point here so you can see. Now you have a featured, and then you have boost listing, and then regular listing. So always go back and look at your listing. Where is your listing? If you are required to boost, please do so, because you have a, you want to make sure that you drive more views. Like I say, you just need to go through your AgentNet and then click on your listing, click on your icon, boost icon, and then you have they'll tell you how many credits is it now, and then turn on your listing, and then you are there. Okay, it's simple as that. Our final agenda, which is one of the most important thing, is the understanding your listing performance inside. A lot of people don't know, right, that how important is understanding your listing, and they don't even realize that they have such thing in their listing. So after posting a listing, after 24 hours, you're able to see some numbers going on under your listing, correct? So what are these listings? So knowing and understanding this improve your listing. So don't worry to screenshot this or anything. All this are in our help center. So please go through and look at your help center. So through knowing the number of impression your listing made, you will know how many property seekers actually saw your listing. The higher the number of impression means your listing matches their search keywords, your listing is ranked high enough to them to view. With this statistic, you can make a better decision to boost a particular listing or not. If you feel already greater enough eyeball, then you can save your ad credit for this listing. However, if you have a quality listing that you think isn't getting enough exposure, then you can heavily consider boosting to increase the number of impression and potentially views. And then views. Views is the number of time your listing was clicked into. So if you reach the particular amount of impression, that means you can narrow down to this particular view. So maybe I'll have my own target. I would assume that 5% out of my impression might click my views, right? So you come up with your own target. So always target for the higher number impression. The higher number is, the better chances for you to get higher number of views. And then obviously phone review and messages are the when property seeker actually click on your plus to see a number, and then when they actually message you directly through their listing. And finally, you can see is the spark line. Spark line, you can see either green or red, right? So spark line kind of based from the impression. So it's depend on the impression. It will say that, hey, you know what, your competitor is doing better than this, right? So you might want to look at this, how to improve by clicking at the like button. So you can give feedback on how to improve the specific listing. So why they create this, right? It's a conversion funnel. So the higher the bigger the funnel is, that means you can get more impression to it. Then basically, if the impression is high, you get general interest, and then you have warm, somehow specific. Somehow interested in specific listing, and finally, if they actually reveal your phone number and message, that means they're really keen on the specific interest. Next time, what metrics does performance insight reveal? So, A, impression, B, views, and C, click-through rate. Okay, the answer is yes, C, click-through rate. We do not have that in the performance listing insight. Second question, how many days does Sparkline provide visual on your listing performance? I did tell this, right, earlier. Is 30 days, correct. So what does impression mean? I think I answered, yeah, correct. So the number of time listings was seen through the search result. So as a summary, we have gone through the keywords for your headline, the importance of a good description, the photos, and drive boots. All right. So make sure you focus on these. the rest of the things will fall into places. So thank you so much for your time, and I wish you all the best, and let's meet up soon once the pandemic overs. Okay, thank you guys.